Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for joining us here on this platform. It's a pleasure to have you on board.
Pleasure, Swami.
So, being the principal of Thakur School of Architecture and Planning, what is your philosophy of leadership? How would you describe your leadership style?
Actually, the answer lies in the question itself. Being associated with Thakur School of Architecture and Planning, my role to align with the vision and mission of the institution itself becomes my philosophy of approach. Here at Thakur Education Group, we believe in a system-centric approach. We don't believe in individual leadership or an individual knowledge base. Here we work on collective wisdom and collective action. So absorption and alignment with the vision and mission of the institution, and to such an extent that it starts to resonate with each and every member of the organization. And then the action starts happening. So irrespective to who leads the organization, the system is so robust that we are able to achieve all our objectives and goals in alignment with what the management has set the vision for the institution to grow.
So, you have an elaborate experience in the education industry for more than 2 decades now. What are the factors that keep you connected with the education sector?
It was not unless you told me that it has been 2 decades that one realizes education industry is such a vibrant industry that we continuously are engaged in lifelong learning. In fact, if you observe, there is a pattern that when I started to teach, it was the trend used to change every 5 years. But now the pace of development is such that it is changing every 2 to 3 years. So it is so versatile that one has to always keep pace with time. And now I am seeing myself in a role where I am able to connect my fresh students with the graduates, the postgraduates, the professionals who are there in the industry. And it's like a worldwide family today.
So, what are some of the biggest challenges you see both for higher education in general and for TSAP specifically?
These are challenging times, definitely, for entire education, not only the higher and technical education, but there are also ways to turn around it. Like the first important thing that I feel is adopting a very robust quality management system. Institutes which are already into quality management system and which have some ranking in place, I think they are very robustly placed in the organization. Currently, yes, we have to also engage in risk-based thinking and see how we can be change ready. So at TSAP in particular, we are very particular about the quality assessment system that we have in place. We also engage in risk-based thinking, and we always review our policies and review our framework with a systems approach where we take collective wisdom of all our institutions which come together. So that is how we are able to be change ready.
So, what are some plans that you're currently or will be designing for the institute students?
Currently, we are working on a lot of areas. Some of them which I can list out now is first on priority is digitization. I think for last 2-3 months we have been working heavily on that, and it has been a very intensive effort of learning for all of us in this engagement. Then the new education policy which is in place is also in alignment to which in our own vision that we were already doing. So it puts a lot of additional responsibility on us on how we are able to take it further, especially when the new education policy demands skill-based programs and industry preparedness, which are our core values. In fact, training our students for innovative and creative approach through responsible participation and value-based education has been our forte. So this is what is next that we are looking up. In fact, we have also started with skill-based courses in our institution, which are in alignment with NSQF, that is National Quality Framework Policy of UGC, and that is working wonders. And we are looking forward to explore more in this particular area.
So, how does the curriculum of TSAP ensure the best practice of the industry?
That's a very good question. We have been exploring a lot of ways in which we could innovate. In a manner that TSAP stands apart is our emphasis on hands-on training. We have been doing a lot of hands-on training for our students. We are engaging students to participate in certified workshops. We are very clear that any program that they are doing, any training that they are receiving must be certified through an agency which is well recognized. Many of our programs we do only to ensure that any international recognition is available or a national level recognition is available. In fact, none of our study tours are without any certified program. So if there is a program which we can bring to our institute, we will do that. And if it is required that our students must go there, like we have traveled to Milan, we have done a program with Politecnico Milano, we have traveled all over India and done various certified programs. So a student, when he graduates from this institute, is equipped not only with the degree from the university, but several set of certificates, and that has made our students certificate hungry. In fact, in this pandemic times, there have been so many online workshops, seminars, and our students have loaded themselves up with this. So this pop-up scenario is very good for our students because of these initiatives that we have taken.
So as private universities continue to mushroom across the country, how does your institute stand apart from the others?
Every institute is unique in itself, and each institute has its own strength, and they have to serve with that particular strength that they are having. And it all comes from how well they have aligned themselves with the vision and mission of their organization. Luckily, when I'm talking about Thakur School of Architecture and Planning being under the aegis of Thakur Education Group, we are blessed to have infrastructure which is state of the art. And Thakur Education Group is known to provide infrastructural facilities which are not only as per norms but even beyond, because we are training our students not only future ready but for global immersion. So I think this has been the biggest takeaway that TEG has been able to provide us as a backing to Thakur School of Architecture and Planning.
So in your expertise opinion, what comparison can you draw in the employability scenario of architects pre and post-COVID times? And to tackle the post-COVID world, what skills do you plan to impart to the budding architects of your institute?
As soon as this scenario emerged, it was completely new for the entire world. So there are a lot of internal thinking that we had to do with our think tanks, and we emerged that we should launch a program which we called as TSAP Toolkit program. That program was initiated to introduce students to the digital world, and it has also given a guidance to the students how they can stay connected through networking, to real networking in the so-called artificial medium in real time. So this has helped us in doing a lot of collaborated activities, and this is helping them. In fact, what we have found is this has opened up a new Pandora box of initiatives. We are able to bridge across. We hosted a national photography competition with international jury members, and they need not travel. In fact, sitting at their own home, they assessed our entries, and these things were possible. So the TSAP Toolkit program is a very good initiative. I expect a lot of other institutions to also pick up, because we are also putting up all the details on the website which they can go through. Apart from this, for professionals, what we have done is we have realized that this is also a time for research and innovation. So a lot of our alumni students have been working on research activities, and through online program we have initiated a lot of activities where we have made them aware about copyrights and IPR. I think copyright and intellectual property rights is something that this generation of architects must be aware of, because this is the time when new explorations will happen, and only through copyrights and IPR they will be able to protect their new products. So this is the area which we are aggressively working on.
So what do you think should be the institute's top priority of the next 10 years?
We have a lot of areas what we have identified. First of all is the new national education policy, and we want to address to that, and we want to reach out to maximum number of aspirants, because being in a very pivotal position and strategically located in Mumbai and doing so well with the quality that we are able to achieve, we want to reach out to maximum. And while maintaining the quality standards, how we will be able to do it is the challenge which we are currently working on. Next thing is to inculcate research in teaching and learning, as well as having a very robust collaboration between our alumni base and industry to develop on it. Then we are thinking of increasing our international exposure. We are already having connections with the international institutes through our study tours and international visits. So we want to strengthen them so that some certificate programs or collaborative programs or a dual degree program could be done with them. So that is one of the initiatives. And upskilling. I think upskilling is something which we have to do from bottom to top, like right from our peons to non-teaching staff, teaching staff, our students, upskill with the new technology which is available there, so that they are also attuned to us.
So, any suggestions you would like to give to the current youth and the aspiring students?
Yeah, I've been always talking to my students that they should now at least give up the fear in their mind. They should have freedom from fear for tomorrow. They should be more patient. I think this is the need of the hour. And there is one magic mantra which I tell all my students, and I would like to share, is smile. If you take anything that comes across to you with a smile, you definitely have a very positive outlook to it, and you will be able to find a solution. I think that's all I want to say to the students.
That was a very beautiful and an insightful message, sir. I'm sure the viewers would be enlightened by knowing about your thoughts through this interview. Thank you so much for your time here.
Thank you, Shweta.